We start with breaking news from Ukraine, where several people are reported injured in the capital, Kyiv, following a Russian missile attack. Authorities say 8 ballistic missiles were fired at the city. The early morning attack sparked fires and damaged office buildings. Ahead of the attack, Ukraine's Air Force issued a message on Telegram warning of a ballistic missile coming from the north. Let's join DW correspondent Nick Conley in Kyiv. Welcome, Nick. What more do we know?
So it was incredibly loud here around 7 in the morning local time. Most of what we could hear here in central Kyiv was probably outgoing anti-missile defense rockets being launched. Those are very, very loud in a kind of urban environment. We also heard some very loud bangs. We don't know if that was something actually hitting a target or being intercepted low over the city. What we do know is that there have been reports of several people wounded, of which some are now in hospital. In terms of fatalities, we don't quite know yet. There have been contradictory reports about a fatality that was then rescinded and then pushed by other media, so we're still quite not sure. There's certainly a serious amount of damage from falling debris, cars on fire, energy infrastructure, heating infrastructure, lots of people without heating this morning. But it is something that doesn't happen every day here in Kyiv. You get drones coming in pretty much every day, but these incredibly expensive missiles that cost tens of millions of dollars to produce each, that is something that Russia cannot produce in the same volumes, and so they wait for a stock to build up every couple of months and then send them in. This definitely wasn't, as far as we know, the Oreshnik missile, that most modern Russian missile that Vladimir Putin's been talking about a lot. These are Kinzhal and Iskander missiles that Kyiv has seen before.
Right. These sort of ballistic missile attacks on Kyiv don't happen that often, as you're saying. What are the likely targets?
So in terms of the actual kind of physical targets, we don't have much more information yet, but what we are hearing from people here, observers, people, political and military pundits, they are convinced this is all connected to Vladimir Putin's press conference yesterday, where he was trying to strike a pose of confidence, trying to signal to the West that he is in no mood for talks, and if they're going to be talks, they're going to be on his terms exclusively. He was talking about that Oreshnik missile that he's already used once to attack the city of Dnipro, and was basically trying to encourage the West to send as many Patriot missile defense systems as possible to Kyiv, and then he would see if they were able to intercept the Oreshnik, his line being that they wouldn't. So a lot of bravado there, a sense that he is trying to make a point, because de facto this is a very the wrong city to target if you actually want to reach your target. This is the place in Ukraine that is best defended, where those missiles are the least likely to get through. So wasting tens of millions of dollars on making a point is something that would only be done for a political reason, and we're seeing that he's trying to signal now to the new incoming Trump administration that he's going to play hardball, and that he is not going to come to some kind of deal that the Ukrainians and their backers in Europe are going to be amenable to.
So we're looking at damage and injury. So did those 8 ballistic missiles get through?
So as far as we know now, we've just heard of reports of them being intercepted. Lots of this information is confidential, and often we only hear later. But seemingly from the video out there on social media from people, it does seem that the damage is so far being caused by debris from intercepted missiles. If the missiles had actually reached their target, the kinds of images we've been seeing would be much worse.
OK, thank you for that, Nick. DW correspondent Nick Conley in Kyiv. Well, as Russia's invasion of Ukraine approaches its 3rd anniversary, the toll is visible across the country. Every day, families bury loved ones who've been killed on the front lines, but many are also trying to create a festive atmosphere for the Christmas holidays. DW's Max Zander reports from Kharkiv.
No parent should have to bury their child. Yet here in Kharkiv, it happens every day. This woman had to wait for more than a year for this. The Russians only recently handed over the body of her son, Alexei.
He will always be with us. His spirit will remain with us forever.
These are the graves of Ukraine's soldiers. How many have died remains a secret, but this part of the cemetery has just been extended. In the grand scheme of things, a soldier's death is a statistic. For family, it's everything.
I don't understand anything yet. I need to come to my senses to understand. It's empty without him. I'm proud of him. I always miss him.
Close by, a group of family and friends tend the grave of Andriy. He volunteered in the summer and died in the winter, killed during his second combat mission. The group brought flowers and a can of his favorite beer.
They took everything. Andriy was a good person. He was cheerful, kind, the soul of the company.
They talk about his love for life, how he coached a children's football team, and how the war has changed them.
We are united by love for our country. Maybe if the enemy hadn't come, we wouldn't understand how much we love Ukraine. We hate the enemy who came, who destroyed our country, who makes our children and grandchildren orphans. We will never ever forgive.
Many people, like Andriy and Alexei, have been killed trying to defend their country. As the prospect of a fourth year of war looms, many are asking how much longer they can keep going, with the country slowly burning out and the future of Allied support unclear. Even so, this Christmas, Kharkiv is full of light. They've been absent for the last 2 years, but now the decorations are back. In the safety of the metro, St. Nicholas welcomes children and parents to enjoy music and dance. And for a time, to think about other things.
We must do this so that our children, even in such terrible times, for Kharkiv, for Ukraine, at least for 1 hour, that the children forget about it.
His spell seems to work on the adults too.
This is a miracle in which we believe that peace and quiet will soon come. We believe in miracles just like children. We want to believe in it.
The children's wishes this year are simple.
To go to the sea.
That the war ends.
But some may prove more complicated to fulfill than others.